Right, I think we will get started now then. So, good afternoon, good evening, and I believe good morning for some. Welcome everyone to our second day of our Marine Spatial Planning workshop, Balancing the Social, Economic, Cultural, and Ecological Objectives. My name is Samiya Selim, and I will be your moderator for today's session. So before we get started, just a bit of housekeeping, really. I believe you're all muted, and we would please request you to stay muted, and your cameras are already automatically turned off. So we will be using the chat feature to ask questions, and we have people on standby to collect these questions and share with the moderator and the speaker. So please don't unmute yourself to ask questions. Use the chat feature. For any technical assistance, please contact Lisa Madison. She's here. And just also to inform that all sessions are recorded, and each day's recordings will be shared on Huba the following day. We will not be sharing individual slides with anyone at this point. So just know that it is all recorded, and you will have access, listen to the recordings the following day. So just a bit of background to us, to IMBeR. We're organizing this workshop. We're the Interdisciplinary Marine Early Career Network. We are a networking platform mainly for early career researchers interested in interdisciplinary marine research. We provide a number of, as part of this network, we organize training and development through workshops such as this at conferences. We also offer leadership opportunities. We were formed a year ago, actually, at the Ember Future Oceans conference last year in June. And since then, we have now expanded. We are 550 early career researchers from 72 countries and growing. We also share a online newsletter every few months, which has various opportunities on these training, development, and other opportunities that you might be interested in. This is currently the IMBeR organizing committee. We have Stephanie Brody, who's the current chair, and the rest of us early career researchers from across the world. We are a part of IMBeR, which is a nearly a 20-year-old international project, which promotes integrated marine research, science that works towards a sustainable, productive, and healthy oceans at a time of global change and for the benefit of society. IMBeR has various sections, regional programs, projects, which works towards making impact through the science research we do and the activities, of which IMBeR is one of these activities. From IMBeR, what have we done to date? As you said, last year at the Future Oceans Conference, we had a session for early career researchers. We've also had capacity building workshops for EU early career researchers. We're looking to operate effectively at the Science Policy Society interface. We have a special issues coming out on solving complex ocean challenges through interdisciplinary research. And next year, we also have Climate 7 in Vancouver, Canada. Details of all this is on our website and also on the IMBeR website. So coming to today's session, this workshop goals. What are we aiming to do here? Really understand the concepts that exist around marine spatial planning, all the different parts, multi-criteria, MSP. At the same time, we want to create a platform, develop really an international early career research community that are interested in MSP and wants to apply it at their different organization or studies. We want to, for the future, identify opportunities and priorities for future action and really building capacity for effective for implementing MSP. So yesterday we had, it's a 3-day workshop. Yesterday we had an excellent round of speakers as well as a very interactive online game on MSP Challenge Simulation platform. We got to hear, I'll be actually debriefing a little bit about what we spoke about yesterday, but today's session will really focus on the missing layers, on how do we integrate some of the items that has not necessarily been part of all the talks and discussion around MSP on the social, on the cultural, on the ecological objectives into marine spatial planning, and we will also have an excellent in the second part, after the talks, we will have an interactive session with the Center for Interdisciplinary Environmental Justice, call of the Defiance Tools for Decolonial Feminist Science. We have put out a survey which is available on the Hoover app. If you have not filled it out already, we'd request you, if you're going to be part of the session, to please fill that out if possible. It would help with the session. So just very briefly, I know many of you were here yesterday as well, so I won't go too much into detail of the code of conduct. We just really ask you to be respectful of at the conference, you know, when you're speaking, and as well as just listening, being open to opinions and views. Harassment, intimidation, discrimination, all this will not be accepted, and you know, we'd like to report any unacceptable behavior to any of the workshop organizers. At the same time, MCAN recognizes that that there is ongoing discrimination against Black, Indigenous, and people of color in society, including academia, and we are in support of initiatives such as Shut Down Academia, Shut Down STEM, and others, Black and Ivory, which are movements that insist that we invest time to educate ourselves about these issues, and really that we have resources available on Hoover, and we suggest you take time to think about steps that you can take towards racial justice in the spaces and organizations that you occupy. Move to the next slide for some reason. All right. So just to recap very briefly, on the first day, we have had a round of excellent talks, which started with Professor Michelle Portman, who broke down on the basic concept of MSP and some of the myths that exist around MSP about it being only about marine conservation or it being really new. So she really explored that, as well as gave examples of 3 fundamental tools: decision support tools, environmental assessment, and marine protected areas. I highly recommend listening to the recording if you were not at the session yesterday, or for anyone really trying to understand what MSP is all about. We then we had a number of so both hands-on, so more applied case studies from across the globe. So our next speaker was Jorge Alvarez Romero, who gave on the Gulf of California and Mexico, and spoke about issues around ecological connectivity and how do we practice MSP in a changing climate, things to consider such as socioeconomic considerations, thinking about artisanal fisheries and industrial fisheries, as well as things that will make it more effective, such as leadership and capacity building. We then moved on to South Africa's oceans, and this was quite excellent by Mandy Lombard, who talked about South Africa's unlocking the economic potential of South Africa's oceans. And I found it excellent that she touched on how we need to move from a linear to circular economy, and give examples of moving from, or the difference between having a ecosystem-based hard sustainability MSP to a more integrated one, some of the challenges such as power dynamics, governance, and opportunities as well on building social capital. So again, excellent talk there. We then again moved to a more applied case study in Germany by Vanessa Stelzen-Müller. Talked about the emerging conflicts, new conflicts, and also new benefits in fisheries, but really a need to address the data, lack of data on both the economic benefits as well as baseline data, and the need for better collaboration between sectors that can facilitate MSP. We moved then from Germany to Brazil to Leopoldo Cavalieri Gerhangdinger, who again made it broader, but used Brazil as a case study to understand issues around using more transdisciplinary solutions to address complexity in environmental governance, and gave examples of 3 papers and findings from that can support MSP implementation in Brazil. Finally, we had Gunnar Sander, who led some key messages around ecosystem-based management, as well as marine spatial planning in relation one to the other, as well as what's better for the coastal zones and the open ocean. We ended with interactive game simulation, MSP challenge, by Harold and by Göran. And again, half an hour was not enough to cover this. A lot of interest was shown in this, so I would encourage you to listen to the recordings and as well to download the challenge, the game software, and try it for yourself. I'm going to end here by showing a very busy slide, which is what we're going to be covering today. I would like to really have some interesting talks. I think that it would be good to have a Q&A session. So I would I'd really like to request the speakers to keep to time, and I look forward to. So the times here are Bangladesh times for me, so I'd like to end at 11 p.m. today. So I'd really like to request everybody to keep to time, and yeah, we look forward to a really exciting and interesting next 3 hours. So